All right, guys. So I am here to demo. I am here to demo how to set up a project for a business inside of Claude Code using Cursor AI, this IDE. So recently I've discovered this is an incredible way to use AI. I can't believe I didn't know about it before. And so this is a bit piecemeal, but I'm trying to document my journey. So this is the custom creative business that I run. It's a print on demand business in the hip hop niche. And I'm accessing Claude Code inside of the terminal here using the IDE, and it just makes using AI way more effective. I've got a number of different workflows and, let's say, directives or protocols that I am establishing, and I'm trying to perfect them so that then I can duplicate this over any project. And so we're basically focusing on any business that's running on a WordPress website in my case. So we're going to do things like create products in WooCommerce, create pages, fix anything, adjust the designs, make blog articles. So then content creation, of course, social media creation. And then I will also be doing lead gathering or lead gen and subsequently email verification and large scale cold outreach. And then, of course, a newsletter of some sort. So these are the things I'm trying to do at the moment. That list that I just mentioned. And if you can see here on the left, I've got some of it going. We've got create social post, create WooCommerce product, generate images, publish articles. So we've got some basic frameworks coming. And then here in execution, we have Python scripts. So I'm trying to get the AI to follow rote frameworks so that there's no guessing and there's no changing and there's nothing left. Yeah, there's nothing vague. And so that the AI can perform the same task over and over flawlessly. And so that's what we're doing right now. So I'm in the midst of that. And I just did some blogs. So actually, we can visit those over here. So I was able to create this for De La Soul, and it's the keyword is what happened to De La Soul. So that is exactly what people are searching. And I used various tools to get the Google SERPs data, the Google keyword data, and then I wrote an article about it. And then I used actually original photos of De La Soul taken from the web, whether by screenshots or with using Firecrawl, and then sent those to Nano Banana as reference images. So these are original images, but they're informed by the original De La Soul members. And some of them are using just Black Forest Labs, so they're just vague and generalized AI art. And so this goes over the whole thing. And then in the end, I've had one more thing. I have this, the AI actually integrating my products in two ways. So I have this product, this t-shirt, and so it's made this whole promo block, we call it. And then here is the actual t-shirt for purchase, weaved into the blog in line. So if I click on that, it's going to take me to the actual shirt so they can purchase it. So that's what I've just done. And then let's pop back in over here to products so that we can see this before. So I made the De La Soul Stakes is High t-shirt. And now I'm going to make my next t-shirt programmatically using this interface here. So I've got every one of my products. These are all new products. And so this is the last one. These actually are done, but they were done in another format. So they look a little bit non-conformant. They're not the same standard. And so then I've started basically here. So what I'm actually going to do is next, I'm going to go for this. Yeah, I think since I have 3 from Ultramagnetic MCs, I'm going to pull this up like that. I'm going to actually pull 2 Ultramagnetic MCs up here. And then this one is also from the the same artist. So what we've got here is we've got a product mock-up, and in this case, we just have black, and then here's the artwork, and then the product type is a t-shirt and it's in black. So this is very simple, and then we're gonna graduate to this more complex structure, and that's we've got a black, and then we've got a navy, and then a green, and then a chocolate, and then here's the artwork, and that's a t-shirt. And so we've got it all set here, and last but not least, no. So the rest of the things will be set up here, short description and so on. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. So clips has been done, as you can see. It just was run up. It was just formatted in a different way. So I'm actually going to bring both of these to the very top because that just shows that they've been done. And yeah, we're going to start on Ultramagnetic Zenix, this simple one. And so I'm going to use this framework here to create it. So now, and so create it programmatically. And then what we'll do subsequent is then we'll go into Printful, and we'll go into Merchize and also create products. And Printful and Merchize, here we go. So this is my custom creative store in Merchize. This is a print on demand interface out of Vietnam. So they have a bunch of products. They have a whole catalog actually here of tons of products. And I have set up products. And the last one I did was the De La Soul Stakes is High t-shirt. So this was all done programmatically via automation directly from the AI. And then I did it here. This is Printful. This one is out of Latvia, but yeah, I've set it up here. So I have done it successfully, but what my goal is today is to solidify the structure and make it concrete so that the AI knows exactly what to do every time and won't make a mistake, and will also pay attention to every detail. As you can see here, I'm about to submit a prompt, and so the reason why I've got so much language here, I didn't type it out. I'm using my microphone and Whisper Flow, which I do pay for. It allows me just to speak, and then it will do speech to text. And then that makes it a lot quicker and easier for me to make very long, complex, detailed prompts. And yeah, it's quick. So you could pause and read this whole thing, but it's just basically taking very careful steps to elucidate, to embellish on this process. I want it to see every single detail. And so I've already discussed about the WordPress. And then so I'm going to go on from now. I'm not completely certain about every detail because I've only done this one time, and there was a number of procedures. So we got to set the type of shirt, the sizes, the prices, and then we've got to set the mock-up and the artwork. There's a few steps here, and we got to do that for both of these. And the reason why this is a little bit difficult is because each one has a SKU. And so, yeah, we're going to have to provide that data for the AI as we go. So here is the product in Merchize. I'm using the Bella Canvas 3001 t-shirt because it's quite good. And so it has a SKU. We have to make sure that the AI has these, as they will need to access the API, which we've already given it the API key in both circumstances, in both cases. So what I'm going to do is so then the next step is we will continue to create products both in Printful and Merchize. And naturally for those, we're going to need the product. In the case of t-shirt, we're using the Bella Canvas 3001, and we will start in the black, but we will eventually have other colors, and you will need the mock-up and the artwork, and you will have to set all the variants, including the prices, which is given to you in the Airtable. And we have that set from extra small to triple extra large. The extra small to the extra large is $24.99, and the double extra large and the triple extra large are $26.99. So that's a standard. We have that in the Airtable. And last but not least, in the case of merchandise, you're going to need the SKU, which you might have in your documents, but I will provide that if needed. So our goal here now is to create a comprehensive and detailed framework and workflow, a sequential workflow, so that you can do these three things: set up a WooCommerce product, set up a Printful product, and set up a merchandise product flawlessly and without any trouble. And any Claude who appears on the scene with no context will be able to do it because the instructions will be so clear. So as you saw, I just did all that, and that was quite something. But the last thing is say, so now I'm going to ask him to come in here and start with this ultramagnetic MCs, the legacy continues t-shirt. So this is a very simple one. As I've shown you, actually, I don't see the prices. Actually, we're going to have to add the prices real quick here. Let's just pause. Okay, guys, so I have just quickly added a multi-select here for all the sizes, and then I've added a note here. So I've given him the price and the SKU for merchandise. So we'll see how this goes. I think this one will be relatively easy because it's simple, but we'll see. And we're going to have to document that. Anyway, last but not least, I'm going to come over here. So I added a little bit more, and I'll tell him what. So there is one final notes field that I added to the Airtable with specific important notes that you should have to perform your task. So let's get started. The product that we want to begin on is number 4 in the Airtable base, called CC Products, and it's the Ultramagnetic MCs, the legacy continues. All right, if you have any questions, let's discuss. Okay, guys, so, I've really taken a lot of care here, and so we will see how this goes. I'm going to let you guys see it, but this is the start of hopefully what will be a tremendous series of videos, me sharing exactly how this works, because this is something that is quite unbelievable. It makes the desktop apps of the AI services look silly and quite limited. And so the scary part about this is that it's typically seen as a coder's realm. And so it puts people off and it seems difficult and hard. But when we're just using it for marketing, it's actually fairly simple. That's my goal, is to make this simplified and then spread it around to everybody, because I think it's going to empower them in a serious way. So let's get started here. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to probably pause this and then I'll come back periodically, but this is just to check in so you know exactly what is going on. Okay, guys. Yep. This is a first stop on the long roads. That is right. So we're going to create a bulletproof master directive for the entire workflow and complete explicitness, just as you state. Now, in the case of this first trial run, Ultramagnetic MCs, the legacy continues, has just one color. It's black. Please confirm that, and then we can move forward. All right, guys, so this might be helpful to you. It's asking, should I make the records first and then perform it, or should I perform it and then do the records? And I think in this case, we should just probably perform it and then make a record from that. So that's where I'm going with that now. All right, so you can see that he is actually getting clear on this matter, so he knows the difference. So that's a good thing. Yes, that's correct. So this is different from critical beatdown. That's next. Let's first focus on the legacy continues, and we'll establish this bulletproof master workflow, the create product full workflow, and then we'll move on to something else next. All right, guys. So now you can see on the left here in the IDE, we've got actually Claude doing his thing for custom creative on the order that I just gave. But then I'm also using Whisperflow to simultaneously engage in the Claude desktop app just for advice about WordPress. So that's pretty cool use. I can be multitasking and doing a lot of stuff at one time. All right, guys, check it out. You can see, I guess it's been, I don't know, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. So it did quite a bit here. I think it did the whole thing. Look, let's take a look. Master workflow created, keys, ready to move on to the next one, critical beatdown. Okay, so let's take a look. Look, so he created the WooCommerce URL. And there it is. That's exactly what we want. Quite nice. Absolutely cool. Okay, so that's a score, a win right there. Now let's go over here and see, this is the real test. So we're here on custom creative. Actually, I don't think that this one has it. Yeah, let's go back here. Oh yeah, let's go into products here. So this is merchandise, as you can see. And look, we've got it. Ultramagnetic MCs, and that's exactly what we want. Look at that. So that was perfect. And then let's go back over here to this one. I'm using this one right here. And look, we've got it. Oh my God, that's so perfect. So it did it from flawlessly, one shot at it. That's just incredible. Wow. Quite stoked with that. That is really impressive. So the next thing will be to create added complexity. So that is multiple colors. So they'll all have their own mock-up. And so the AI will have to play with that, because I have yet to determine how to display that to him in a very clear way. And then the other instance is in the artwork. I'm thinking sometimes the shirts have different artwork, either colored or black and white, or even in the front and the back. So that's the next challenge. But right now, it just one-shotted it. So here, I'm gonna just say one thing, because, okay, yeah, the rank math requires, yeah, let's take one more quick look over here to see if we go into products. Let's refresh the product. And so we got Ultramatic MCs. Yeah, it looks like it hasn't been set. So there are probably elements that are not perfect. Oh no, this is set. So that's exactly what we wanted. And the snippet here is all optimized. Wow. That is so nice. That is so great. Holy cow. Yeah, it's done a brilliant job. It's just stunning, actually. Okay, so let's go. So he makes a point. Yep. So that's right. On the rank math, Printful requires native store ID. Okay, merchandise needs 2 uploads. Yep. Always upload image to first before. Yep. Oh, that's one more thing we need to do is let's check the media library here. So he did put this here, which is not necessarily, strictly speaking, but because I have this offloaded to an Amazon Cloud bucket, it's okay, because this thing is actually 11 or 12 megabytes. And so it's rather large. And yeah, I wouldn't want that in my WordPress media library. But since this is offloaded, that's pretty nice. Okay, so let's take it from there. I'm going to cut this one right here and basically consider this one a quite successful demo. So just getting started. All right, guys, so I'm just going to carry on from here and check out the next one, which is going to be a little bit more complex, but not that much. It should, if you got the first one, it should get this one. So what we have here is black, navy, green, and chocolate. So we'll see with this. We'll see what's going to happen here. So I'll give it a try. And as it just killed it on the first one, I'm going to say, yes, let's go ahead and move forward to the next product, which is Critical Beatdown. Now, keep in mind, very important, this one has 4 variations. It's black, navy, green, and chocolate. The artwork is all the same, but there are 4 colors. Again, we're doing the same pricing and the same sizing, and we want a WooCommerce product, we want a merchandise product, and we want a Printful product. Let's follow our full workflow, but this time we're going to have 4 variants, 4 color variants. Okay, let's get started. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay, guys, so I don't know how long that was. It's been 10 or 15 minutes or so. I've been doing other work. So it looks like it's finished here. So let's go see. So we see this one. Oh, okay. So we've got our first mistake. Let's see. Oh, WooCommerce critical breakdown t-shirt. Let's go over here to the actual products. He made it as a draft. Okay, so that's nice. So we've got, look, we've got black, navy, forest green, chocolate. Let's see. Now it generally should, let's see if we add to cart. So we got that. Probably need to beef up the descriptions, I think. Oh no. Let's see with the cart. I can't really tell if this is showing the, we're gonna have to go back into the products. Okay, so we've got all the variations here. And so, yes, we've got up. So he didn't update. So this is okay. So this is exactly what we need to do. We need to learn. He has to upload these all here. So that's a lot of extra work. So yeah, these need to be loaded up. He did that here. So these are correct, but he didn't do these individual variants. And so that is probably going to be a flaw in the merchandise structure as well. Let's go see if he did anything over here. Okay, so he did the critical beatdown, and that's fine. So yeah, okay, but so let's see. I'm not sure. It's difficult. Oh no, look, the forest green is definitely that's definitely correct. It looks correct. So this one is actually set up correctly, it seems. Now let's go over here to this one. This is Printful. And that looks good right there. 25 added. So yeah, we've got, yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, we got black and then forest, navy. Yeah, that seems good. And I think if we go into the, yeah, we have to make sure this is one other critical thing. So this is the design editor. Yeah. So that's okay. That looks okay from that point of view. But oh, this. So I presume that if I wanted to make a new order here, and let's just say if we go into this one, actually, not sure if that will, no, let's go back. So we're in this one. Yeah, we want to make a new order. Okay, that's just what I was looking for. I was just looking for the artwork. So look at that. That's beautiful. And the artwork is here just fine. So that's really good. So it's actually good. The only error he made was actually in WooCommerce. Holy cow. That is brilliant. But yeah, these have to be uploaded. Let's take a look at the media library real quick. And so, yeah, we've got those three. We got those three. This is fine. Okay. Wow. Actually, that's nice. So yeah, let's check on the other things back down here. So he did set that and he did up. These look like they're maybe not 100% optimized, I'd say, but that's nothing wrong with that. We could probably just change this if we wanted it all to be, yeah. But let's go back to, here, I'm going to just save that because I made a change real quick. Not bad. Oh my gosh. So let's go back over here and just tell him, well done. That was perfect. You did a great job. So please document everything. There's only one problem, and that is that the color variants, the images for the color variants in WooCommerce were not uploaded. So the black, the navy, the forest green, and the chocolate, each size inside of WooCommerce also needs to have that mock-up in that specific color uploaded to the size so that it displays correctly when somebody adds the product to their cart and selects their size and their color, the actual color appears in their cart. So that's a nice user experience. We need to add this to our master create product full workflow. WooCommerce individual product variants, the colors need to have an image as well. Please acknowledge. Okay, guys, so that is, it would have taken me, can you imagine? It would have taken me like an hour at least to do that. Oh, excuse me. If I had to do WooCommerce with 7 sizes and 4 colors, so 28 variations, then had to do it for Printful and for Merchize. And so if I were to set these up, even for just WooCommerce, but for all 3, it would take several hours. And so as you can see, this is just a handful of minutes. And the whole time I've been working on something else. So this is just fantastic. Okay, I'll wait for this to complete and then we'll come right back. Meanwhile, just a peek here. So I have opened up Kiro, which is another IDE, and it's evidently created by Amazon or AWS, I think. Anyway, I've got it on the high contrast dark theme, which is actually quite nice, as you can see, so clear. And I have spun up my new Taiwan merch company, which is my brand new print on demand, Taiwan focused business and online gift store. And so what I've done is quickly used Whisperflow to bang out an intro, and Claude has made me a Claude MD file, and then a directives and an execution folder. So that is his overarching framework for performing these tasks. And actually, we need to go into this. Ah, yes, we're going to have to create this better. Okay, so that's the next step. But anyway, the point is that I've actually given him access to my WordPress theme. So I plan to have him actually make this website from scratch. So I've just set it up here. And it's set up with the colors and with the logo and with the font, and there's nothing else on it. And so my goal is to have him do it here. So he's checking it out. Oh, okay. So we're gonna go ahead and clear everything out. So we'll carry on with this in a minute. Meanwhile, so we're back into custom creative WooCommerce, and so you look, he's uploaded the variants for each, the chocolate and the forest green and so forth. So we're all set. And actually, we need to set the brand. Oh, he's got music. He's got the category set. So let's just remind him and let's tell him to. Okay, last but not least, set the brand and publish this product. Well done. So I'm just going to actually take that off there and let him do it and see that will go just fine. So that was nice. It looks like we did it again. We had a little bit more complex workflow for him, and he did it quite well. So that's actually really nice. All right, so he has gone ahead and gone through what's there inside of the project folder. And so he sees, oh, I don't know how he sees that, but that's interesting. So anyway, I'm going to answer a few questions and then we're going to go ahead and create this Claude markdown folder, which is like the master system prompt for this thing. And I've got a kind of framework for that. And it's called the DOE framework, Directive Orchestration and Execution. I got it from Nick Sarayev. It's just a way to make it so everything we do has to be completely and fully recorded and documented in detail. And that is in order to ensure that we have continuity and that we avoid errors and we can be efficient and so forth. As you can see, the prevailing sort of thought pattern here is that if we just let him do what he wants, then he will be by virtue inaccurate or inefficient. And so everything that we do, we will try to define it as best we can. And that way he will be more likely to perform well and successfully each and every time. So I've given them this is a generalized template, which I will share with anyone. This is not mine, but it does work. And in lieu of some other better approach. For the moment, this seems to be working, as you can see from custom creative. My goal here is to give him access to my actual WordPress site and let him do the designing, because yeah, that's fun and I enjoy it, but it's also time consuming. And I think that he is more than capable of doing that. So I'm going to answer these questions right now. And then I'm going to give him access to my site, and I'm going to have him write this Claude markdown file in according to this framework. Okay, guys, so it's done. It's done. We did it. It works. So if we got the navy and then we choose double XL, now it changes. Okay, so everything's good. So that's set. An enormous savings on labor and an efficiency step that is through the roof. So the next one we will need to go to test is here. Actually, let's see. Yeah. Actually, it won't get complicated until we get down here with two types of artwork. I think that is the only one that we are going to, that's the next most difficult step. So for now, we've got it quite rightly settled. So it seems good. That was awesome that we could get it done. Let's see. So he didn't put he did not fill up any of this, but we don't really need that. The last thing I would only probably add if I wanted to perfect it was say, there is only one final thing that I would like to add to our master workflow, and that is to beef up the product description. Right now, it's one or two sentences only. And I think that we want to tell a story. We want it to be a little bit, have some personality and have maybe a hook and show, our unique angle and our passion. These products are things that not everyone thinks about every day. And the ones that are thinking about it really like it. They're super fans, they're enthusiasts, and they've come here for a reason. So let's sell them. Let's sell them. Let's tell them why it is special, why we're special, and make the case. So let's just add that little bit of tidbit there, and that'll be it. Okay, so that's what we'll go forward, and I'll move on to the next thing. Guys. Okay, guys, so I just finished testing the WooCommerce flow, and it's working just fine, as you saw. And so now I'm just onto another project. And so I'm about to make a Claude MD file here with using this DOE framework. And so I've instructed Claude that the reason why we're doing this is so that you have no question about what you're going to do. When I ask you to do something, you know exactly how to do it. So there's no guesswork. And that way he will pay attention to details and he won't make mistakes or make less mistakes. And anyway, even if he does make mistakes, those will be learning opportunities for us to improve and make this entire thing more bulletproof. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm about to let him have it. I'll have to blur out my app password here. But other than that, it seems good. So let's carry on from here. Cheers, guys. All right, guys. So I'm back here to continue on with Taiwan merch. So I'm going to document this journey here from scratch. So I have presented him, as I just said, with the DOE framework, and he's going to, before he makes it, he wants to ask me some questions. So I'm just going to answer these real quick and get underway. All right, guys. So I'm just answering these questions using the mic, and just it's extemporaneous. And so I'm right here, content categories, absolutely content categories, Taiwan news, culture and history, language learning, product spotlights, travel, of course, food. Food is a very important one. And we will probably do current affairs. So we'll cover local happenings and gatherings and celebrations, and we'll highlight companies, and we'll talk about the news. And because we have one thing is that I am the proprietor, John Jones, and I have been living in Taiwan for nearly 30 years. Today is January 1st, 2026. I came to Taiwan on January 16th of 1996. So I speak Mandarin, and I have very deep understanding, knowledge of Taiwan and everything in it. Okay, so then what's the first thing you went operational? Yeah, actually, we're not going to have, we're just going to be focusing in 6 areas. I think the first thing for you to get to action on would be to learn cadence and start. We're going to start by having you, an expert in design, to design my website, to actually create the blocks, to fill in the content, to create the images, make the banners, make whatever carousels or whatever titles or call to actions or buttons we need. And you're going to do that. So that's the first thing to do. But we're going to be mainly in these sections: WordPress and everything around WordPress, and of course, WooCommerce, and then content creation, which will be blog articles, but then we'll derive to social media. And then, of course, we will need inbound and outbound emailing. So that will include outreach and also a newsletter and customer service. Ultimately, I think email is a good bet, that I will give you access to our Google Workspace and that we'll be able to answer emails. Also, comment on social posts and so forth. Okay, guys, so I did quite a bit of narrating here, and I have given him a huge, and that's just the advantage. Just speak off the top of your head, and this whisper flow gives you some ability to, it won't capture your ums and your ahs, and it will actually tidy up your language. So it's really, really useful. Okay, Claude, we've got another product. It is Dr. Octagon Cool Keith in the Airtable base. This one is quite easy for you. It's just got black and chocolate, same as everything. Let's do our master create product full workflow from beginning to end. Let's get it all done on this one now. Please ask me any questions if you need, and let's discuss it. Okay, guys, so I'm just going back to doing the next one. The reason why I'm going to do these 3 is because these are all the same artists. This guy, Cool Keith, is Ultramagnetic MCs. So we're gonna, once these 3 are done, then we will move to actually accessing the Google SERP data, the keyword data. We will access that by API using data for SEO. And then we will find the keywords here that we will fill in the keywords on this subject. And then we will have new articles to make, and then we can do more socials. And that is our flow. And the only thing we have to add on now is actually a newsletter from here and do some more social posts. So at the moment, that looks pretty tight. Okay, so he's found that. Let's go. Oh, quick question. I think that we want to do a little bit of keyword stuffing here. We want both Dr. Octagon and Cool Keith to appear. So the third option. Okay, so look at this. I'm just popping right on over here. He's doing my Claude file. And so I've got multiple, and you can imagine that in some time from now, of course, we're just getting started, that I'll have 6 or 8 of these going or more. And we may even put them to the cloud, and we will have various techniques to keep them going, hooks or automations to allow the process to go forward while we're sleeping, potentially. Yeah, and also to carry out more. For example, I was doing the products, but we could probably do 5 products or 10 products at a time rather than just one. I'm just keeping it simple at the moment to make sure that we get the entire process down pat. Okay, so here we go. We've got some more information. So he's put our assets here. Yeah, directives. Okay, WordPress content, email, customer service fulfillment, and next steps. Able send the WordPress API. Which would you like to tackle first? Okay, I'm going to just fill these in because these are involving some of my sensitive information. So we'll just tackle this off camera. Alrighty, guys. Hey, here we looks like in order to all have to hang out right here, just to let you know that the final entry was completed and I am well on my way here. I've done 3 now. We've got all of our things here are done. Looks like he didn't add done in the, let's tell him to do that. Might as well add done. Okay. Looks good. You need to set the product to done in the Airtable. And then let's just take a look at this one. Edit the product. Looks nice. The actual product description is much better. It's quite a lot better, in fact. And yeah, we've got this. We set everything set up. It looks actually just really good. The brand's not done. Here, we'll see that. Oh, and please do not forget to set the brand to custom creative. And I think that's it. So we're done. So I'm going to stop this one for now, and then we'll be on to something new. Probably now we'll actually research the keywords so that we can start doing blogs on this topic. All right, guys, it's here. Talk to you soon. And as I'm just switching screens back over here in Kiro and doing Taiwan merch, as you can see. So we've got, I gave him all the information for all the API keys and our MCP servers and everything else we need. And he went in and read everything. He checked out the website. And so he studied all the files and created directives on a Cadence theme guide. And he acquired, so yeah, some information about the header and footer builder, global palette, yep, and available blocks. So that's what he needs to know. So this should give him the ability to edit this very nicely. So the next step is definitely going, look, he's asking me for the next step. We're going to have to design the homepage. That's what will be. So I'm going to take a break for now, and I'll be right back with that. Cheers, guys. Okay, guys, so now I have switched back over here to Custom Creative, and I'm going to go ahead and start some new Google keyword SEO type research. We need to compile keywords to rank for terms that are related to ultramagnetic MCs, Cool Keith, Dr. Octagon, and we will make blogs, of course, about those things, and then we will weave our products within them. And so that's a great way to rank for a keyword that's being searched, and people will naturally find your information. Hopefully it will be good quality, keep them on site, they'll look at your stuff, and then in the middle will be interspersed your merchandise, your swag, your products, and we'll go from there. Hopefully we'll get a sale. So that's what I'm going to do for now. So I'm going to tell this guy, all right, the next step, we're going to transition to SEO research and keyword research. We need to add keywords to our Airtable, so there is an execution for this. But this entire workflow is not completely established. We need it to be bulletproof, just like the others. We need it to be masterful. We want to use our data for SEO API key and access their endpoints to get related keywords. We're going for high volume, high monthly search volume, and relatively low keyword difficulty, keywords and keyword phrases. And so you are going to have to check out the API and find out which endpoints are necessary or appropriate for this kind of thing. I am going to give you some keywords that we want to focus on, and we're going to bring back the best keywords, or the ones that we have the greatest chance to rank for, or the ones that make the most sense. These should be informational keywords. So we're going to be focusing on ultramagnetic MCs. That's a rap group from the 90s. a hip hop group from the 90s, and Cool Keith is their sort of lead MC. And one of his solo albums was Dr. Octagon. And so we have 3 products that we just made that we just made in WooCommerce, and they are going to be interweaved among the blog article contents. But first, we have to find the keywords to rank for. So I believe you have access to the data for SEO tool, but our entire workflow is not set. So as our directive is to make this completely comprehensive and detailed so that any Claude that arrives with zero context would know what to do. Go research keyword topics for this main keyword, and then he would go get them and bring them back to our Airtable. So let's do that. If you have questions, let's first discuss it. Okay, guys, so I think that's a bunch of rambling. I'm not sure how much of that is actually valuable, but I think that it's, first of all, you're getting practice speaking off the cuff and in impromptu about a subject. And then, of course, I'm always pulling him back to what I need him to do is document, record, detail. We need to be able to redo this every time without fail. There he goes. And that's normal stuff. Seems like he's doing just fine there. We'll jump off back to Taiwan Merch for a second, and he's got something. Yeah, he's researching my workflow here to make images. Yep. Let's see. Yep. Okay, he's going to test it with his Taipei Skyline Hero banner. Nice. Okay, let's go. Yeah, that's just fantastic. Okay, so he's got data so he's got my credentials, hopefully. Do you have I do. So actually he's done this before. So that just means that, yeah, it hasn't been properly systematized. And I see some like this temp images could go. Also, this is something that could go. I'm going to have to delete some of this stuff. Also, these are good, but yeah, scripts, these are good. Yeah. These 2 probably need to go. Like the articles, this is not serving any purpose now. So we'll probably have to delete this and get rid of some other stuff like this. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. Okay, so he came back. I'm going to have to actually look at the specific, I'm going to look at the endpoints to be sure. Yeah, the cutoffs are going to be dependent on, it's hard to say. Information only, yes. We're going to study this for a second. I'm not sure what kind of priority. Higher volume post, lower difficulty, of course. Output for each the app, yeah. So I can actually go take a look at my other model for this. Okay, so I'm going to take a second to do some research. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so here is data for SEO. This is how I get Google search data. And we've got a bunch of, let's see, the documentation is here. See, so these are basically it. Keyword data. Let's just take a quick look. Yeah, so this will give us, provides you structured data of the top 100 search results. So the SERP data, we do need that for some things when we're actually writing our blogs. Then keyword data. Oh, that's right. We have to like refresh that. Yep. Okay, keyword data. Yeah. Domain. No, we don't need any of these on-page content. Content analysis. No. Content generation. Let's see. Very interesting. This is very cool. But let's see. Yeah. So yeah, just basically back to here. SERP API is not what we need. AI optimization, no. Probably need to be. So yeah, see the keywords data. I think we need this. The labs. Keyword research, the labs. So this is why I wanted to do this, because I'm not sure that Claude was getting the right information. Related keywords. Yeah. And keyword ideas, probably. Yeah. Yeah. We could also do also asked or something. People also ask. Let's see, this is quite optimized now. So I'll leave that alone for the moment. Related keywords and keyword ideas, I think, is what we want to be. Yeah, this is all quite optimized by now for Claude. So let's go back over here and yeah, actually, so he's still, let's go back to this one a moment ago. I think we need to hit these endpoints so that I think keywords, keyword IDs and related keywords. Okay, so that's that. And then let's just go over. So at the end, I'll have to find I'll give him the credentials right before I'm going to send this out. So I'm going to add a little bit more information here. As the endpoints I've provided. Here, okay, so I think that your filtering thresholds are relative. So monthly search volume greater or equal to 500 could be much lower or higher depending on the keyword and the search volume, the demand for this, and keyword difficulty could also be, but I think it will be generally 30 or less. And yes, the intent is informational only. Okay, guys, so I just created a quick note for Claude. I'm going to add my API key and see where we go from here. All right, guys. So I'm back here, and as you can see, they did a bunch of research for my keywords, and we've got some, but obviously this is an old school hip hop artist, and so some of the search is obviously limited. So we can definitely do things like the members, and actually the net worth one will probably be useful. Some of the songs might be useful. There's several that are good here, but I did a quick search on my own and I found that maybe critical beatdown could be one, because we're seeing hip hop golden age ranked in the top 10 for that. And then there's another couple here. It's basically representing that there are blogs. So we might add this one. I'm gonna give him a little bit of extra. So let's add that to, I did some quick manual research and I want to add at least one keyword. So we'll just add those. All right. So I just added a couple extra manual keywords. I think who is Dr. Octagon and ultramagnetic seas critical break beatdown could be a good one. So we'll go with that for now.